I remember especially in early years not feeling good in my own body, not feeling good in my own skin. I was going through old pictures the other day, sat at my desk kind of sorting stuff out, having a bit of a file organisation day, and I found this picture here. This is me when I was 16. I had a real moment of, kind of a bit of an out of body moment where I thought, who is that? Who is that? I don't see that as me. And I actually put something up on Instagram stories and said like, wow, I've really changed. And I got some responses which were like, wow, that's quite the transformation. Some others like, shit, you look bad. And as soon as I got some of those ones, I felt like an instant, like a feeling of just feeling so protective over my 16-year-old self. I mean, that was 14 years ago, I'm 30. And it made me really think about actually like how I feel about body image, especially my own one. I pulled up some pictures here. I felt weird actually. I felt weird because I don't see this as me. I don't see these pictures as me. I remember how I felt in each of these pictures. I remember especially in early years not feeling good in my own body, not feeling good in my own skin, kind of trying to work out who I am and kind of how I look. And I would say that I want to do this flat white chat. These are the things, guys, if you've done my flat white chats before, then essentially it's like chatting about stuff which I think is important to talk about. As guys, also hi if you're a girl here, as guys we don't talk about stuff like this enough. And it's kind of brushed under the carpet. For girls it's something which I feel is more prevalent and something which they're allowed to talk about a bit more. It's fine to feel bad in yourself. For guys it isn't. You know, we should always be feeling good and strong and masculine. But actually, that's very good. The truth of it is that we don't. And I can show you this. Like looking back at this first picture of me here that I've got, 2001, I'm 13 or 14. I'm this small, rotund creature who is, I mean, I don't even know. I remember that age, you know yourself, if you were 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 35 maybe even, you're trying to work out who you are. And for me, I was a large creature who just wasn't too sure of himself. And then, you know, going on to this one, which is 2 years ahead, and I'm big, I'm spotty, I've got bad skin. I'm sitting with my arms folded across my chest. I didn't feel good about my body. I still don't feel good about my body. It's still one of the hang-ups I have. I know how to dress for myself. People always say, yeah, you look fine, you look good, whatever. But it's something that I'm still not massively happy with. Then, you know, age 17, this is 2004. I remember this is when I sort of first started going out. This shirt I loved, I felt good in it. I mean, it made me sweat like a bitch because it was polyester. But I remember feeling like I was getting to know who I was, but I'm still big here. And I would say one thing with me is, and I still do this to this day, when I don't feel happy, I eat and I drink. And that's something that can happen. You know, when I get back in, if I've had a bad day, if I've had a long day, and I just need some sort of comfort, I'll eat. And that is what I turn to. And I recognize that these days. I mean, this is not me saying this is some major issue I've got. What I'm saying is this is something that affects us all. You know, how we deal with ourselves and the way we look on our body image. We all have different ways of coping. And for me, I suppose, mine's linked to my weight. Whenever I'm not feeling good about myself, I'll balloon. I'm at a point in my life where I'm actually fairly happy with myself. I very much know who I am mentally. I've got a job I love, I've got great friends, I've got my own flat now, which is amazing, but I still have down days. You know, this is me here, aged 18. You know, I bleached my hair blonde, I still had quite a big face, but I was going out and I had new friends and I was feeling good about myself. But I still remember feeling not that great. And university for me was a whole sort of experimental phase. A phase of kind of getting to know me as a person, getting to know what made me tick, you know, what I liked, what I didn't like, who I wanted to surround myself with, how I wanted to look. And it was a real experimental phase. And I feel like at any point in our lives, you might be, again, in your teens or you might be in your 40s and you're still going through those sort of phases of seeing what works for you. And it's so important to do that and allow yourself to do that. I feel like, you know, in those messages that I had from people saying, shit, you look really bad. Like this is not a video of being a glow up saying, again, oh, look how I was and look how I am now. This is just a video of recognizing that we all change and that it's important to know kind of where you've come from and the whole journey. And you know, another one, I got glandular fever when I was at university. I was really ill with that. I lost a lot of weight, but I remember thinking, shit, I'm thin. Like, I am so thin. I looked too thin, to be honest. Like, I was very much like skeletal. I didn't look great. I actually didn't feel that good in myself, but I remember thinking, you're thin. And that was something I was pleased with. I look back at these photos actually, especially these ones now, and I think, that's not, like, I'm not naturally that size. Like, I'm not big boned, but I'm certainly bigger set. I'm not a skinny guy, but I'm not a huge guy. And this has been this sort of evolution of me. The next one here is when I was sort of full-time work. I was kind of settled into a career, and this is me aged 25, so 5 years ago. And I still look quite thin, but I'm kind of experimenting with my own style, sort of these graphic jumpers, big hair, and it's kind of when I was getting more into myself. Then I remember this one. So this is me aged 28. This was a trip I went to with L'Oreal, and it was to Monaco. And I remember getting invited to this trip and seeing who else was on the trip. I remember just on this trip feeling like I'm really going to be compared, I'm really going to be judged. And I remember not feeling too good, although I look sort of thin here. But actually it's really only until 30. I'm very much like, talk about how you feel, and that's exactly why I'm doing these. I'm all about celebrating myself and how I feel in myself, when I feel good, when I feel bad. I want to talk about it. I want you guys to talk about it, because I really do think that we're in a dangerous time of social media, and the stuff that we see, the stuff that we consume is just not real. It's like these shows, these reality TV shows that I just can't watch because they don't make me feel good about myself. Shows like Love Island, if you're in the UK then you'll know it. These gorgeous young things who are just media cannon fodder because they've got gorgeous bodies and okay faces. And they go on these shows and they're, you know, they're having sex and doing whatever else and just become famous. And we're setting the wrong example here. We're saying that you've got to be thin, you've got to be good looking to do things like this, and you don't. I promise you, you don't. You just have to be happy in yourself and have some sort of conviction and understand what makes you you. And that's essentially it, guys. That's exactly why I wanted to sit and talk about this, because I want you to know that however you look, however you feel in yourself, you can carve your own life, but as long as you feel good about you, and that's the most important thing. Don't worry about how many likes you get on things and what people look at you and think, because they don't know what's going on in your head. They don't know what you're good at, what your purpose is, what you want to be doing with your life, how your friends see you. The other stuff is bullshit. Don't worry about it. And that's exactly that. But I'm gonna say, guys, I've just started a new podcast, a little bit of an upsell here. Started a new podcast called Flat White Chats. It's less on style and grooming and it's more on this sort of thing. So talking about lifestyle, body image, mental health, sexual health, hopefully, going out on the street, which I will be doing, and talking to people about topical issues and stuff which, you know, is really of the now. So I will be doing that. So I'm gonna link it, there'll be a link up there. Give it a click, subscribe, it's on iTunes, I'd love you to come and see it, and also get some feedback. It's very new to me, so any sort of feedback would be great from you guys. But I'll see you in the next new video. It's gonna be Thursday, no it's not, today's Thursday, it'll be Sunday. Bye bye.